welcome to my channel. Well, this is mainly for the knife community. I'm going to put it up on both of my channels, the lock sport community one and the knife channel, because many people are unaware of how easy most of these master locks are to get into. Now, not all of them, but most of them. And if you think that Masterlock is bad, the Chinese knockoffs are even worse. This lock looks a lot like a Masterlock. See, the way Masterlock got a lot of its reputation is tough under fire. I think in like the 60s or so, they put one of these on something, locked it up, and then they shot it with a rifle, and the lock still held together. Well, if you think about it, it's laminated steel, but you're hitting it edge on. You're hitting the edge of the laminate. So yeah, it's gonna be tough under fire. But well, let's get to the Chinese one. Now, this one is what they used to use on my power meters at my apartment complex. And they have something that's even worse than being easy, super easy open, is a bad design. This one has what's known as a bypass, and let me see if I can get it in there. You don't even have to pick it. You just got to know what to grab in there. Let me get this just a second. I had to remember how to do that. This thing is just like a little hook. I just push all the pins up out of the way and go back there, and there's a little lever back there. Pow! I'm just pulling down on it, and it pops it open. So, I mean, it's that quick to get into. That's faster than a key a lot of times. All right, so Masterlock has, here's a Masterlock number 3. I don't want to bash Masterlock too much, because if they wouldn't have been that easy to get into, I would have never gotten into lock picking. This is a Masterlock number 3. This is what I call zipping. Let me see if I can get it on camera without causing an earthquake. Camera positioning. Maybe this one won't zip open. Let me try this one. Here's one, a nice hardened boron shackle. Underneath it is laminated just like that. I'll put up other videos of lock bypasses that I've done in the past. This tension wrench may not be right. Sorry about that. Right tool for the job. It's hard to do this around the camera. See, I didn't even try to pick the pins. I just went in there, I went to the last pin, applied a little tension, went zip. What you're doing, you're bouncing the keys up, the pins up. And because this thing has what we call flat bitting, they're all basically, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your pin positions. All you gotta do is get this guy to set, and then the rest of them follow through. Now, you would think, well, I paid extra money. This is a boron hardened shackle. See, it says right there, boron hardened and everything. It's octagonal or whatever to make it harder to cut with bolt cutters. I mean, but if you can just, sorry, earthquake. If you can just get in there and just zip these suckers open. So, if I had my bike locked up with this, and somebody knew what they were doing, they could get into it almost as fast as using a key. Let's see if this guy will work now. Get in there, you. See, there are only 4 pins in there, and there are no security pins. So they're usually fairly easy to get into. Oh, sorry. Trying not to hit that. Bam. See, no picking. Now here's a Chinese knockoff of it. It doesn't really want to zip that much, but it's not that hard to pick. So you can't always judge a book by its cover. You can judge them by their core and you know, the contents of them. Let's see if this guy will zip open again. Huh? Tough under fire. I don't think he'll zip. Oh yeah, he will. Boom. So, see, I don't even have a key for this one. A lot of these I don't even keep the keys with them because they're just so easy to get into. So if you've got a lock that has 7 pins, and I took 30 minutes trying to pick it and I couldn't get into it. Now I don't want you to get the idea that Masterlock cannot make a good core, because this is one of their lockout tagout locks, and this is the best core that Masterlock makes. They have security pins in there. They're not easy to pick, and if you're picking it and you rotate it too far, this thing will basically self-destruct. The pins will fall out. Now these are designed to be easy to open physically if you have to. It's a plastic housing. So, you know, if somebody locked out some electrical equipment and then they went off to you know, there was 2 shifts at the place that you were working at. At Intel, we had our picture, our tag hooked up to it too, and a phone number and a pager number and a contact number and everything else. And they really had to make sure that you weren't there before they removed this, because this was to keep the stuff from being energized while you're working on it. I mean, it's this, and we had on the tag, it said, "Do not remove this tag because of my life. You know, my life is in danger." But they do know how to make a good core. They just don't use it on a lot of their stuff. And it's mainly because most people look at these and they don't think about picking them. They don't, you know, they try to get into them with brute force. They cut it. There's even a way, because these are spring loaded right here, you can take 2 hammers and hit it and cause them to open. But like I said, they're not as bad as the ones that are badly designed. If you look way back there, there's a little plate back there, and that's what this one is opening up with, which is called a bypass. Now, some of the Masterlock brass padlocks are able to be opened with a comb pick. And what that is again another bad design, because what you're doing with a comb pick is you're pushing the pins all the way past. Like, there's a key pin up here, I mean there's a driver pin up here, and there's a key pin down here, and they're cut at different lengths, and in theory you got to get them all lined up for the lock to open. When you can bypass one with a key pin, what you do is you're pushing both the key and the driver pin past the shear line, and this thing will open just like, it'll open just like a key. You just line the, you have to make sure you get the pin, you know, the right pin spacings. There's like 4 or 5 different ones, you know. You get the right pin spacings and you push them up and bam, it opens just like a key. I can't find my brass ones right now, but I would demonstrate that. But I'll link, you know, an earlier video of lock bypass. So just keep that in mind. And again, not all, even though they're 4 pins, not all of them are as easy to get into. This one won't zip, and it's not as easy to pick. Same with this guy. He won't zip. He's not as easy to pick, and a lot of it has to do with bitting. If you look at this pin sets right here, and this pin sets at this height. This one sets lower. So if you're taking a pick and you're trying to go through and set this guy, if you push this one up, it won't open. If you push that one up in the process, that's a good bitting on a key. This is not. It's trying it a little bit. You know, it's coming up a little bit. So yeah, it depends on the keys and everything. But this is a terrible bitting right here. Look how flat that is. And you saw how easy that was to open. Zip, bam, it's open. So just keep that in mind when you're getting locks, that just because they look like they're, oh, this guy's messed up now. Or is he? No, he's still good. No, he's open. What the heck? I may have screwed this one up because he's open, but he's not open. Nah, let's mess with him some more. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what the heck's going on in here. I may have jacked this guy up a little bit. I can always take the key off the shackle and try to fix it. Here we go. Now we got him lined up. He's lined up now. He was just out of alignment. Bam. So, I guess the moral of the story is, just because it says it's tough under fire doesn't mean it's tough under picking. And once you realize how easy some of these locks are to get into, your confidence in them might go down a little bit. But just be aware that the majority of criminals will not take time to even learn the simple stuff on picking. They're going to take the tried and true method, their bolt cutters, their hacksaws, whatever they use. It's usually brute force to try to get into it. And master locks are not bad for that. But just be aware that your lock is not as secure as you think it is in many cases. So just thought I'd include that one there for you. If you want to find out more about lock picking, like I said, I've got my lock picking channel is William Mansell. Yeah, it's my name, you know, is what I started out with. And I've got 1,000 videos in there. I spent 3 years. I still have 700 and something subscribers. I want that one to get up to 1,000 eventually, but man, in lock sport, it takes you a long time to get up to 1,000 subscribers because it's kind of obscure. A lot of people, you know, I don't have the patience for that. I don't care about that. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when I opened up my first Masterlock without a key, I was hooked. I mean, after that, it was like, wow, this is fun. I want to learn more. And you start learning about different types of locking mechanisms. These are pin tumblers. There's all different kinds of locking mechanisms. There's all different kinds of locks out there. I started getting into old locks, you know, from in the past. big locks, brass. I like brass a lot, so I get a lot of brass padlocks. Um, these are removable cores, you know, so you get in there and you start looking at how they were pinned and everything. It can be a very interesting hobby because it's a challenge. You're trying to go against a lock that doesn't want you to get in without a key. So I hope you found that interesting. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.